We've done a few games in Northern League Division 1 so far this season, but none in Division 2 as yet. I reckon it's high time I change that. Yes, good afternoon everyone and welcome to a new video on the channel. It is Tuesday the 22nd of August 2023 and tonight it is a pretty big Teesside Derby. It is Billingham Town versus Thornaby in Northern League Division 2. So here I'm in Billingham and it is the first time in 19 months that these two sides have faced each other, and even this early on in the season it is a really big game. Billingham Town are currently in 19th place in the Northern League Division 2 table, of this of course being a 22 team league, so they're not quite in the relegation zone, but their record currently stands at 1-0, drawn 2 and lost 5, so is it a must-win game for them tonight? And personally, I really think it is. When you think, especially last season, when you think they were minutes away from promotion in that playoff final, have really got off to a slow start this time. I mean, I'd maybe quite like to get your guys' views on this. Actually, what is the minimum amount of games you think need to have been played before games start becoming must-win? I mean, for me, a lot of it might just depend on your situation and what's expected of you going into a season. But this is a really important game this tonight for Billingham Town, and especially won't want to get beat off of Thornaby, who currently find themselves in 13th place. They've played 6 games, I believe. 1-2, drawn 1 and lost 3, so not exactly pulling up any trees themselves, but you'd think before long they probably will start climbing up the table. Of course, a team that have just come down from Northern League Division 1 and will want to bounce back, so pretty big game for them as well. It's a bit of a funny kind of game this, actually, because I think some Billy Town fans, based on what I've heard, have more of a bit of a discontent towards Thornaby than what they do towards Sinners. Oddly enough, of course, Sinners being the other team that represent Billingham, but of course over the last few years haven't played in Billingham, and these days are playing as far away as Stoke at least. So Thornaby have been pretty much over the last few years or so the nearest team to them geographically in terms of grounds. I mean, of course, for this season, Billingham Town are ground sharing with Yarman Eagles Cliff, but I don't think there's really any history at all between those two. So I think at the minute the sort of big rivalry for them is Thornaby. So it's going to be a massive game this tonight. There's not that much going on in the TS postcode area, so fingers crossed attendance can complement that. Let's head on down to Bedford Terrace and find out how it all unfolds. So the team's warming up. Thornaby getting ready just here. Looks like they may be in like a purple away strip tonight. Billingham Town getting ready in the farthest end, of course going to be in their traditional blue. Of course Thornaby have had to change because their colours are also blue. Anyway, I'll see you when the players are coming out of the tunnel, ready to start the match. And there's a train just coming past. I'm underway. they're in.
Famous one at Scarborough last year.
Yeah. I just figure out when to get to Scarborough actually. Thinking maybe November against Kings Lynn. But I think the main thing is the Boxing Day ones.
Yeah, and the National League didn't make any sense.
But the one that made the least sense was Spenny. It's kept it. What's that?
Tesco pretty much out there. So I'm going to try and see Whitby or Mask there this year. Although that ground was supposed to get knocked down years ago and was supposed to be a new one.
Half-time, Billingham Town 1, Thornaby 0, and in all fairness, it is pretty well deserved so far for Billingham Town. They started the game pretty well, and I think at the time the goal came, it was coming. So that has to be said. And I think since then the game's maybe quieting down a little bit. Thornaby have maybe gotten into it a little bit more, but haven't really created anything too spectacular. I think there was a chance where they hit the side net, and then not long after that Billingham Town put a cross in. It's no one could get a toe end on it, but but as it is, there's still quite a long way to go in this game yet. I mean, I think in a roundabout way you could say the best thing that Thornaby could have realistically hoped for is to get in at half time at just 1-0, because obviously I think they'll be taking a bit of a stern talking to now, and expect them to be a bit more fired up in the second half. Of course, Billingham Town have had a few games so far where they've been leading but let it slip. But if they carry on like they are, then I think this could well be the night where they do get that all-important first win. So can a Billingham Town fan, or at least someone from Billingham Town, answer the question about the great mystery I've always had about this particular ground? Why, well, I get there's obviously old bus shelter there, but why is there still a bus timetable in here for like 10 years ago? Like, I've never got that. Twice is at the side net now.
Oh! Defeat the objects if Arsenal and Tottenham have a load of home games on the Tuesday, on Wednesday night. Oh, save! No, I wouldn't do that. Well, I did it when I was in. Oh! I did it when I was in Portugal, but other than that, no, not a fan. Oh. Tell you what, both teams are having chances here. Yeah, which is interesting. Also, the game against Sunderland at the Riverside before then, isn't it? So just see if that gets changed or not. Play the qualifiers at Cardiff. Oh, starting up on a shot. Hey. 8 minutes added time. Oh. Can't be one left now. Possibly the last chance for him to get it forward. Oh! Bragging rights for Billingham Town.
Full time, Billingham Town 1, Thornaby 0. Billingham Town have claimed bragging rights on this side of the Newport Bridge. I think as far as a spectacle goes, the second half was actually a better game than the first. There was quite a lot more chances either way, albeit there wasn't any further goals, but it really was on a knife edge, I'd say. I think if Thornaby had equalised in the first 20-25 minutes of the second half, then they could well have even gone on to win that game. But I think for them, the thing that sort of confused me a little bit was the fact that they subbed off that number 9 that was pretty much making things happen for them, really. I mean, he took a shot on from outside the box, which was obviously foiled by a pretty good save from the goalkeeper, and they seemed to really sort of lack something after that moment. I think if Billingham Town had gone 2-0 up at any point, then that probably would have killed the game off, but it wasn't to be either way. And I think, in fairness to Billingham Town, they did see the game out quite well. I think naturally the body language changed as the second half went on, and it was becoming maybe that bit obvious that the second goal wasn't going to come. I think they sort of did the right thing in just taking the tempo out of the game, just taking a sting out of Thornaby and what have you. So yeah, that is a massive win for them tonight. Obviously it's only taken them 8 attempts, but finally they do have that first win. Can they kick on from here? I mean, there's still a long way to go, still 30 odd games or whatever it is for both sides. I mean, obviously Thornaby haven't had the best of starts either, so a long way to go for both, but I think yeah, that game will probably have to go down as a fairly valuable lesson for both sides, I'd say. So it is what it is, but as I say, a really important result that tonight for Billingham Town. But that is that for this video, and I'll be back tomorrow night, and it is a repeat fixture of one of last season's classics. It is Guisborough Town versus Bishop Auckland, and both sides have become cup kings a little bit recently. You look at results they've had against higher opposition, etc. Obviously Bishop's absolutely thrashed Seaham as well at the weekend, so both going well in the cups. Can they transfer that form over into the league? We'll find out tomorrow. But until then, take care, cheers for watching, see you later.